man. I still blame myself for Sonic's death 13 years ago. At least he's in a better place. I bet he's whooping Powertrip's ass in a drinking contest. Ha ha ha.
Good day to you. You won't happen to be the eldest son of Spike, Mark the Snowwolf by any chance, would you?
Wait, what the fuck? Who the hell are you two?
I am Lord Anubis, leader of the Mobian gods and also Powertrip's father, and the person to my left is my sister who also happens to be Powertrip's and Mobian God Decides.
Great, even more Mobian gods. Just when I thought things couldn't get any worse. I'm an old man, and I don't need any of this shit. So do me a favor and sprint.
There is no need for the hostility, Mark. We come in peace. We have no ill will toward you. If you cooperate with us, we'll explain our reason to our visit to the mortal world.
Just explain yourselves and get the fuck out of my house.
I'll explain our first reason right away. Some of us gods have the ability to resurrect mortals who have died prematurely or unintentionally, like Tails for instance. Unfortunately for Sonic, we cannot bring him back to life as within our laws. His wounds are too great. If we were to resurrect him, both him and his Azteca counterpart would both perish, and we don't want that happening. Our tombs have two purposes, both to honor our fellow gods and as a soul reserve. It just so happens that Tails was killed on the tomb grounds, which in turn, his soul has been reserved within the soul reserve within the tomb. We have the reserve with us now. We can reverse the death of Tails. The only person who can do that is Isis.
Wait, are you being serious? You can bring back Tails?
Yes, and don't worry. We managed to pick up his body from the cemetery, which for 13 years is still in great condition. Give me a minute to perform the ritual so that his soul can be transferred.
Excuse us for a moment, Isis. I want to have a more in-depth conversation with Mark the Snowwolf. I shouldn't be long.
Take as long as you need, brother. I'll be here when you're finished.
And where is Powertrip? Is he alright?
Powertrip is doing just fine. He is currently training with Beerus, which comes to the second reason we're here. Your father has resurfaced in Azteca, and there is no doubt that he will come for you for revenge, since you're the one who killed him 13 years ago. I want to test your Mobian God For's base power so I know where you stand among the Mobian God's power. So me and Isis know exactly what we are dealing with. Are you okay with this?
You're begging for an ass kicking? As you wish, Anubis. But don't expect me to call you Lord.
That is perfectly fine with me. I don't expect you to. Give me your clan's history.
Ancestors, come to me. Give me your power.
Seems my previous assumption about the god ki boost being temporary was flawed. His malice energy seems to be more stable, hence why the ki boost didn't expire. It's been quite some time since I had a challenger worthy enough to face me. Okay then, Mark the Snowwolf, let's see what you got. You're exceptionally not bad. The Tails Powertrip told us about you wasn't all bluff after all.
Yeah, no shit. After Powertrip told me the truth about my dad, I knew you wanted to kill the bastard yourselves.
Which for good reason. Try to keep your mortal body in peak condition. We're gonna need it with the fight against your father's Spike. Unlike your previous encounter, you are not going to kill him. You are going to bring him back to us so we can strip him of his ill-gotten god form.
Sure, why not? Need to get my old ass out of the house anyways.
Perfect. I will come to retrieve you when we're done with the preparations. Train as much as you can. In the meantime, take care of yourself for now. Isis, it's time for us to go back. We spent enough time in the mortal world than we need to.
Okay, Anubis, ready when you are.
Ciao the Aztec.
This is bullshit. Well, at least I have Galaxy, Emily, and my grandkids to look after the village. Well, here we go again.
I'll be honest with the both of you straight up. 3 months ago, I didn't know why my father wanted me to train with Beerus, or you two as that matter. Now I do. As the other method that the Mobians are used to are considered unsavory in God law. Hence why he had me train here instead.
Powertrip, we had no idea how much potential you had until we met you 3 months ago. You've come a long way since then. I think you may even match the power of Lord Beerus if you train hard enough. Hee.
Kakarot, can you be serious for a minute and stop acting like a spoiled little kid?
Not even gonna ask.
Oh, come on Vegeta. This is the last time we ever see him. He's going to be heading back home tomorrow. Least you can do is say goodbye.
You are unbelievable, Kakarot. I sometimes ask if you even listen to yourself talk half of the time.
What is that supposed to mean?
Exactly what I said, clown. You do this literally every time that someone who piques your interest comes along. Do you even listen to yourself?
Oh, come on. Look at him. We found someone who is a god and is stronger than the people than we fought at the Tournament of Power.
And we're not? You are a disgrace to the Saiyan race, Kakarot. I don't understand why Lord Beerus even showed leniency on you. You are such an idiot.
It sucks we won't get to fight him at full power. If there was a way that the three of us can fight each other without holding back.
Actually, you know what, Kakarot? That's not a bad idea. Hey, Wheeze.
Yes, Vegeta?
Do me a favor. Teleport all three of us to the God Realm immediately.
For what purpose?
Just do it, Wheeze.
Right away, Vegeta.
Okay, Powertrip, this is how this is going to go. Me and Kakarot will be in our Super Saiyan blue forms. You transform into your astral and we do not hold back. Understand?
Wouldn't have it any other way, Vegeta.
Then let us not delay.
Come on, guys. You're going to have to do way better than that to get one on me.
Any progress, Wheeze?
Yes, Lord Beerus. Powertrip has transformed into his astral form while you were asleep.
That quickly? Seems I was wrong for underestimating him. Where is Powertrip currently?
He is currently in the God Realm with Goku and Vegeta. Lord Beerus, having one last sparring match before he goes back tomorrow as you said.
And whose idea was this?
Vegeta's actually.
He's more than capable of taking on spite than Anubis cares to admit. Perhaps he should give his own son leniency every once in a while.
Powertrip has been training non-stop ever since he got here. I think it's more than safe to say that he's passed with flying colors and exceeded all expectations.
That he did. I knew Powertrip wasn't gonna be an easy cakewalk, but I didn't think he'd complete it under 3 months, which for a god is remarkable. We'll take him back tomorrow morning.
You're not gonna wait for them to finish?
They'll be tired when they're done. Besides, Anubis said take as long as needed. I'll call him right now to let him know of our progress.
Understood, Lord Beerus.
Why the hell do I need more training? I have a lot of fighting and war experience. What the fuck is the point? All because I can't kill Dad? That's bullshit. The motherfucker deserves to die.
Excuse me, I am looking for a certain Mark the Snowwolf. You wouldn't happen to be him by any chance?
May I ask who you are?
I am one of many of Anubis's royal guards. Lord Anubis has sent me to retrieve you. He wants to see you at your earliest convenience in the Azteca desert.
For what? Training?
He didn't actually say. You'll have to ask him yourself upon your arrival.
Thanks for the warning. Man, I always wanted to visit planet Mobius, especially Azteca. Well, good day to you, Royal Guard.
May the Mobian gods bless your soul, Mark the Snowwolf.
Greetings, Mark. Welcome to our luxurious realm of Azteca. Thank you for arriving on such short notice. We've just received word from Beerus that Powertrip has awoken his astral form. Reason I summoned you here as I want a more thorough demonstration of your Malice God form. I got only a glimpse of it in our last meeting, and it's going to take more than a glimpse to convince me. Powertrip probably didn't tell you I am a pretty hard person to impress, and I need more proof that you're ready.
Well, Anubis, you sure as hell know how to give a man a workout. But I'm not sparring with you again, am I?
Actually, you will not. But do not fret. I found the perfect opponent for you to test your Malice God form on, and he may actually give you an actual run for your money. Let me call him over. Walk toward the sound of my voice, Destroyer.
A new plaything!
What in the living hell is that?
Allow me to introduce you to Powertrip's older brother, Draxius the Destroyer. Unlike Powertrip, he is very impatient and relies on brute force from the get-go. He does not fight unless I tell him to. I advise you transform right now before I let him off the leash. Once I do, he will come at you like an angry hornet and could do some pretty serious damage to you if you're not careful.
Oh fuck it, I know what to do. Ancestors, give me your power!
Draxius, destroy Mark the Snowwolf.
Wow, cool transformation.
Traxxas will now destroy you!
And there he goes. I tried to warn him.
8 slices, Malice control.
I'm sorry, were those little slices supposed to harm me?
Goddamn, you are tougher than a $2 steak.
Traxxas like you, I'll destroy you some more! You will be in a pool of your own blood by the time I'm done with you!
Fine. If you want to play with weapons, then let's go Mouse Blade.
Resist all you want. Resist all you might. By the time I'm done with you, you will be dead.
Draxius, that's enough.
Oh, come on, Father! Why did you interrupt us? I was literally about to kill him!
Draxius, don't make me. I will light you up with 67,000 volts for disobedience. and you will have your godhood stripped, this time permanently.
Consider yourself lucky. This time, Snowwolf. Next time, I will kill you!
That shall serve you right.
I deeply apologize for that, Mark. Tracy sometimes could get a little carried away mid-fight. He's actually killed some of his opponents unintentionally, so we have to keep an extreme close eye on him when he fights.
Like I said, Anubis, I have more experience than you think. But was this really necessarily the appropriate way to prove a point?
To get you more prepared for the fight ahead, but on a side note, you passed my trial. You've proved to me you are more than capable on taking on your father's Spike. Especially here in Azteca.
Makes sense. But don't ever pull shit like that again. You hear me?
Feel free to stop by my temple if you want to refresh yourself or need a place to stay. We are going over the battle plan tomorrow morning. Enjoy your first night in Azteca, and try not to break any of our laws while you are here.
Okay, good. See you in the morning.
So let me get this straight, so that I can hear you correctly. So you are telling me, Spike made it past security and then made his way to this throne room and blurted out in the dead of night he wanted to kill me this morning. And then the five of you engaged him in combat and you weren't able to subdue him?
Yes, Your Excellency, we are not sure on how I was able to get past security. We found remnants of onyx powder that you would find in the old onyx factory in the Nile Delta, in a territory that's now occupied by the Kurasi royal family. And we found more of it downstairs, and the onyx we found can blend in very well in darkness, hence we weren't able to see him until he reached his own room.
So that's where Spike has been hiding all this time? It's very interesting that he would choose the Nile Delta of all places to hide, knowing we Mobian gods cannot go there as it's now occupied by the Kuarashi royal family. I'm surprised to find out that Warzone is still standing after all these years.
Since when did the Nile Delta have an onyx factory? This is the first time I'm hearing of this, brother. And did the Kuarashi royal family shut them down for an supposed health violation?
This factory has been a major part of the Delta's workforce ever since our father was leader of the Mobian gods, and evidently, Spike was working at that factory for a very long time to ensure Azteca had some sort of economic stability to survive. The Delta has become an entirely different landscape now since then. The Kuarashi royal family bought the territory from our father several years ago to expand their empire. The purchase was very bad timing on their part, as around that time, the Nile Delta was in the middle of a civil war. A lot of rebels now roam the street and will murder anyone who even dares go near that factory. It's a major surprise that Spike died run into those raiding psychopaths.
If I may, Your Excellency, I may know how Spike the Snowwolf was able to get from the Nile Delta to Azteca, as I used to take this form of transportation there all the time.
Is that so? Go on then, Tarek. The floor is yours.
Thank you, Your Excellency. I can confirm without any questionable doubt that Spike the Snowwolf got here by the Nile Delta ferry. This ferry would transport workers from Azteca to the Delta under 5 hours. Back when it was fully operational, the ferry would have to do 2 trips every 4 days. As in the region where the Delta is, it reaches temperatures over 840 degrees Fahrenheit, which translates to 96 degrees Fahrenheit in the mortal world. The ferry no longer operates on the schedule that it used to, in fear they would be bombarded by the rebels that have taken over the region.
So in other words, if anyone wants to head to the Delta, they now have to take the ferry at night.
Precisely, Your Excellency.
This is going to be more of a problem than we originally anticipated. Not is only Spike hiding in the Delta, which since has been occupied by the Kuarashi, and we can't go there according to their stipulations. Now I have to sneak both Mark and Powertrip onto their territory just to retrieve him. At this point, we don't have any options, and I risk my relationship with the Kuarashi royal family by doing so. That is a risk I am willing to take since we now have more accurate intel on Spike.
But Anubis, what about Davina's relationship with Powertrip?
Who Powertrip chooses to associate himself with is not any of my concern. He can even choose to date one of the mortal women from Earth if he so desired. As long as he carries out his expected duties as a god of destruction at the end of the day, that's all that matters.
Understood. Now back on topic while we wait for Mark.
I do have one question, Your Excellency. Permission to ask it?
Proceed.
When Spike the Snow Wolf is captured by Lord Powertrip and Mark the Snow Wolf and he is stripped of his god power, what then? Are you going to kill him? Especially after what he's done to you and all of the Mobian gods.
Originally that was the plan. Killing Spike isn't necessary. Mark already killed him on Earth via technicality 13 years ago. There would be no point in killing him if Mark already weakened him. So to answer your question, no, we will not be killing Spike. He will be sentenced in the Kuarashi Taj Mahal courtroom and be sent to their dungeon, as the Kuarashi royal family deal with a lot of serious criminals. I already informed King Kuarashi of this information, and he's perfectly fine with imprisoning Spike in his dungeon.
Thank you, Your Excellency.
Enter.
Your Excellency, Yav Marte Snowwolf fighting Gotsi the Theodore. Permission to let in?
Mark is outside the door. Perfect. Now we can go over the battle plan as to what we are going to do once Beerus arrives with Powertrip. Send him in immediately.
Rita Uai, Your Excellency.
And as for the remaining 5 of you, you are dismissed.
Mark, His Excellency will say you no.
Good morning to you, Mark. I hope you had a good night's sleep. I want to bring something to your attention I was just informed of before my door mason let you in. According to the information I was told, your father Spike was present last night in an attempt to kill me in the morning, which ultimately failed. As it just so happens, 5 of my elite royal guards confronted him, and were not able to subdue him.
How was I supposed to know? I was dead as asleep. Is there no limit that bastard will go to kill us?
Don't forget where you currently are. You are in the world of the Mafia gods. Your father might be dead on Earth, but here in Azteca, we play by an entirely different rulebook. Enter. Beerus. Did Powertrip meet expectations as we agreed?
Yes, Your Excellency. He trained non-stop ever since we arrived in Universe 7. Goku and Vegeta helped out to a certain extent. He passed with flying colors. And who's your friend over here?
Mark, this is Beerus, the person that has been training Powertrip while I've been taking care of the affairs on Earth.
Shit, nice clothes.
Your compliment is duly appreciated, Snowwolf.
What the hell? Mark? What are you doing here? I thought you were retired from fighting.
Actually, Powertrip, while you were away, I made some last-minute arrangements, so Mark is actually gonna help you with the fight with Spike.
It's been a while, Powertrip. Haven't heard from you since your tomb on Earth was gonna be destroyed, or at least from what I've heard.
That key signature. It feels very familiar, but I can't put my finger on who. And it comes off as if you collided with this individual several times within 24 hours.
There is a reason for that. I had to confirm if the stories you told us about his malice God form were actually true, so I had Mark spar with Gracius.
You did what? You had Mark fight Tracius? Are you out of your goddamn mind, father? You do know he's dangerous, right? Why would you do that? You put Mark in harm's way in front of a psychopath that could have killed him? Are you out of your goddamn mind? Shame on you!
Powertrip, there is plenty of time for you to reprimand your father later. We need to go over the battle plan we simulated, now that the both of you are here.
Not gonna waste any time, so I'll get into the important details immediately. According to one of my guards, Spike is residing within the Nile Delta in the Gulam Desert, a war-stricken financial district that was once the main currency resource for Azteca, and every desert connected to this region. It's been abandoned for quite some time now. It is rumored to be the home of several rebels who were recently at war with our allies, the Kuarashi royal family. The rebels should be more than a thorn on your side. If they engage you, I take it you know how to defend yourselves.
Holy shit, my father is aligning himself with rebels. Just when I thought things couldn't get any worse.
Not exactly, Mark. Another piece of intel I was informed on. He is currently hiding in the old Onyx Reserve, an old factory that would produce the currency for the Nile Delta 365 days a year. That was until the Kuarashi royal family cracked down on them for onyx laundering and other illegal activity which inevitably forced them to shut down the factory. From the Delta's border records, they see Spike on the top floor of the building, pacing like a raging bull waiting for the right moment to strike. We Mobian gods can't go there due to our mutual agreement pact with the Kuarashi royal family, but you two are able to.
It's a miracle that that factory is even standing right now, despite all the damage it has took during the war. The Kuarashis haven't occupied it since the temperatures in that specific region can rise into the mid-thousands during the day. We can't risk fighting him during the day, as we'll overheat within 20 minutes. So the only time we can fight him, really,
is at night. Only way you could get there without being spotted is the Nile Delta ferry, which surprisingly is still operational. Even though travelers don't take it to the Delta anymore despite the rebels that reside there.
That's 3,100 Aztecan onyx both ways round trip. And I have over 600,000. That should be more than enough for us both.
Now that we have that out of the way, you two will take the ferry. Next one departs at 5:19 at sundown. That should give you enough time to get to the ferry in time, and above all else, you are to bring him back here. Not kill him.
Yeah, we get it. Come on, Mark. Let us catch the ferry before our father here blows a gasket. This is the first time that I've been on this ferry in 20 years, since the Delta was abandoned. The Delta was an entirely different place 20 years ago. Millions of Mobians weren't in this specific district we're heading to. It was like Dubai, to a certain extent. You will be paid 800 Aztecan onyx a day, no matter what job you applied for. If you did your job correctly, you will be paid like a king.
Jesus, that's horrible. I always wondered where Dad got all of the village's money from.
Your father, Spike, wasn't actually a bad guy 20 years ago. He actually worked in this specific district we're heading to right now. In exchange, he would bring his pensions back to the Mobian gods, and we would grant him the same amount in Mobian cash in return. That was until he started, you know.
Yeah, most definitely. My dad has definitely left a path of destruction for many centuries. I didn't even know that he was older than anyone on Earth. I'm just glad that I didn't grow up to be like him. The Hawkins Snowwolf Council will definitely want to hear about this. Both Sasuke and Nero would turn over their graves if they knew about Dad's action.
My father actually respected Spike quite a ton, actually. He at one point actually considered Spike as his protege. When he changed, so did my father. Maybe we can get some Aztecan gumbo once Spike pays for his crimes. I haven't had much time to myself since I was awoken 13 years ago.
Didn't know Mobius had a thing for Cajun Creole food. We'll see if Azteca has Louisiana beat, but I guarantee not by a long shot. Ha ha ha.
I know a place in Azatula that makes some of the best. They may even beat New Orleans to a certain extent. I hope you can afford it. The gumbo there does not come cheap, my friend.
Yeah, I can definitely cover that, but I'm not paying for everyone else. Good God, I am tired.
Good thing I paid for the sleeper suite instead of the coach class. We would have been sleeping in old rickety chairs all night. And I don't think you want to do that, as they're not really that comfortable.
Whatever, I'm going to sleep. Good night.
Yeah, I'm gonna get some shut-eye myself, actually. We're gonna need it for the fight against your father tomorrow in the Nile Delta.